students, good noon. Myself Nidhi Ghetia from Faculty of Pharmacy, Dr. Subhas Technical Campus. Okay, so today's our study of the subject that is Pharmaceutical Organic Chemistry 1. That is BP 202 TP. Okay, so in this subject we learn the third chapter that is alkenes. Okay, so alkenes also called the hydrocarbons. Okay, unsaturated hydrocarbons. So that's we study that preparation of the alkenes. Okay, the method of the preparation. Okay, so today's study of the content that is preparation of the alkene, also called the method of preparation, either synthesis of the alkene. Okay, so in this we studied the last lecture we studied the dehydrohalogenation of the alkenes. Okay, so now we study the orientation of the elimination reaction. Dehydrohalogenation reaction, that's called the elimination reaction also. Okay, so today we study the orientation of the elimination reaction, Stas-F rule, also called the Stas-F rule. So according to the Stas-F rule, in the dehydrohalogenation of the alkenes, alkyl halide gives a mixture of the isomeric alkenes, which isomers will predominance depends upon the orientation of the elimination. Okay, so according to Stas-F rule, in dehydrohalogenation of the alkyl halide gives the mixture of the isomeric of alkene. Isomeric mixture we gets from the Stas-F rule, according to this Stas-F rule. Okay, so in dehydrohalogenation reaction, the preferred product is that alkenes which has a greater number of the alkyl group attached to the double bond and carbon bonded and carbon atoms. Okay, so the prefer the product of the alkene which has the greater number of the alkyl groups or double bonds bonded which attached with the carbon atoms. Okay, so for an example, we see the example, the dehydrohalogenation of 2-bromobutane yield two products like isomeric products like 1-butene and 2-butene. Okay, so out of the butenes is the major product like 80% as it is more highly substituted and it is more stable. Okay, so 2-bromobutane yield two products, that is isomeric product like 1-butene and 2-butene. Okay, so 2-butene is a major product that yield is around 80%, so that's why that is a highly stable substituents or more highly substituents and more stable component. Okay, so this is the example of the two elimination reaction of the Stas-F rule. So here we see the 2-bromobutane and we takes their two substituents like one that is the 2-butene and first that is a 1-butene. Okay, so 2-butene is a more stable other than the 1-butene. Okay, so and 2-butene yield that is around 80% and 1-butene yield around the 20%. Okay, that's why the 2-butene are the more stable than the 1-butene. Okay, so this is the orientation of the elimination reaction according to Stas-F rule example. Okay, so now 2-butene is a disubstituents alkane. Alkene gives having two alkyl groups attached to the double bonded carbon, whereas 1-butene is a monosubstitute alkane having only one alkyl group. Okay, so 2-butene is a disubstitute. Okay, so alkene having two alkyl groups and attached to the double bond with carbon, and 1-butene it is a monosubstituent and alkane having only one alkyl group. Okay, so a disubstitute alkene is preferred over the monosubstitute alkene, or trisubstitute alkenes preferred over the disubstituent one. Okay, so disubstituent more preferable substituents, that is a disubstituent of the alkenes. Okay, so according to Stas-F rule in 1875 gives a rule which state that the dehydrohalogenation of the preferred product is the alkene which is highly substituted, and example like alkene having a higher number of the alkyl groups attached to the double bonded carbon atoms. Okay, so alkene having a higher alkyl groups and attach with the double bonded of the carbon atoms. Okay, so this is the orientation of the alkyl group or alkene elimination reaction. This is the orientation. Now we study the substituent sequence of the alkyl groups. Okay, so the alkene with a higher number of the alkyl groups forms the faster than the alkenes. Okay, and relative rates of the formation of the alkenes is, so R2C and R2C double bonded Cr2 greater than the R2C and carbon hydrogen and alkyl group, and greater than with R2C and CH2 and RCH and double bonded CHR and greater than RCH double bonded CH2. This is a sequence of the alkene. Okay, so stability sequence also same. This alkyl group formation, rate of the formation of the alkenes. Okay, so stability also same sequence follows of the in alkenes. Okay, so now we study the E1 and E2 reaction difference. So E1 reaction versus E2 reaction. Okay, so in last lecture we study the E1 and E2 reaction. So they both called the elimination reaction, also forms in a dehydrohalogenation of the reaction. Okay, and in E1 reaction it is a unimolecular elimination reaction, and E2 reaction, that is a bimolecular elimination reaction. Okay, so in E1 reaction it is only involves the two step, and E2 reaction it is follows the one step reaction. Okay, so there is a formation of the carbocation as an intermediate in E1 reaction, and E2 reaction no any carbocation are the formed. Okay, so the rate of the reaction depends upon the concentration of the alkyl halide only in E1 reaction. So in E2 reaction the rate of the reaction depends upon the both alkyl halide and base group. Okay, so in E1 reaction no need of a strong base, and E2 reaction strong base are the required. Okay, and E1 reaction highly polar solvents are the required, and E2 reaction low polar solvents are the required. Then E1 reaction no stereochemistry are the required, and E2 reaction having a leaving group must be anti to hydrogen to be removed. Okay, so stereochemistry are the required. Okay, and E1 reaction rearrangement of the carbocations are the occurs, and E2 reaction no rearrangement of the carbocation because they having only one step reaction. Okay, so this is a difference of the E1 and E2 reaction, elimination reaction E1 and E2. Okay, so now we study the dehydration of the alkanes, alcohol. So alkenes can be prepared by the dehydration of the alcohol in the presence of the protanoic acid such as the concentrated H2SO4 and H3PO4. Okay, so protanoic acid like H2SO4 and H3PO4. So alkanes can be prepared by the dehydration of the alcohol in the presence of the protanoic acid. Okay, so instead of the protanoic acid, Lewis acid such as anhydrous zinc chloride or alumina can be used. Okay, so in this we take the first alcohol and at a higher temperature and in the presence of the protanoic acid like H2SO4 and H3PO4. Okay, so we take the one alkene CnH2 and we gets the one alkene and one water molecule are removed. Okay, so in dehydration of the primary alcohol requires the concentrated acid and at a high temperature like 443 to 453 Kelvin. Okay, so ethyl alcohol and at 95% of the H2SO4 at higher temperature we get the ethylene plus H2O molecule. Okay, so this is a dehydration of the alcohol reaction. Okay, so in dehydrohalogenation of the monohalide or alkyl halide. Okay, so removal of the next method of preparation, that is a dehydrohalogenation of the monohalide or alkyl halide. Okay, so removal of the elements of hydrogen halide like HCl, HBr or HI forms the adjacent carbon atom of an alkyl halide is called the dehydrohalogenation. Okay, so in halide group are dehydrohalogenation. So one halide group and one hydrogen group are removed from the main structure and making the double bond or alkene. Okay, so here ethyl bromide plus KOH at a delta temperature, higher temperature, which reaction are both, and one ethene are making, and one KBr, that is a bromide, that is a halide group, and H2O, that is a one water molecule are removed. Okay, so this is a dehydrohalogenation of the monohalide dehydrohalogenation. Okay, now we study the Hofmann elimination reaction. Okay, so in alkenes can be prepared by the pyrolysis of the quaternary ammonium hydroxide, that is quaternary ammonium hydroxide. So quaternary ammonium hydroxide are reacted with at a delta temperature and OH and making the one alkene, and one ammonium salt are liberated and one water molecule also liberated. Okay, so in Hofmann reaction alkenes can be also be prepared by the pyrolysis process. Okay, in this reaction pyrolysis process are the involves. Okay, so quaternary ammonium hydroxide are reacted at a delta temperature or higher temperature, making the alkene, and one ammonium salt are liberated and one water molecule are liberated. Okay, heating quaternary ammonium hydroxide, heating at a delta temperature, higher temperature, making the one alkene because of the pyrolysis process are follows there. Okay, so this is a Hofmann elimination reaction. Now we study the dehalogenation of the vicinal dihalide. So in vicinal dihalide are those dihalogens compound in which the two halogen groups or atoms at a two halogen atoms are attached to the adjacent carbon atom. Okay, so vicinal dihalides, when heated with the zinc dust, it loses the molecular of halogen as a zinc halide to forms the alkene. Okay, so dihalogen components, two halogen groups are the present when one component, that's called the dihalogen components, and which having the two halogen atoms are attached to the adjacent carbon, attached with the one adjacent carbon, and making the, and after heating in presence of the zinc dust or make generation of liberate with the halide group with the zinc, so zinc halide are liberated in the presence of the alcohol or delta temperature, higher temperature, heated with the zinc dust and losing the one halide halogen as a zinc halide group and one alkene are the form. So we take here dibromide ethane. Okay, in presence of the zinc dust heating or in presence of alcohol. Okay, and making the one ethyl molecule and remove the one zinc halide. Okay, so this is a dehalogenation of the vicinal dihalide group. Okay, so thank you to all.